Welcome to Souls Enterprise, your source of inspiration and information for your healing, attainment, and liberation.
Today, we wanted to spend a few moments invoking and discussing two relatively big components on spiritual paths: intentions, which we talk about a lot at Transcendation and State,
Mm-hmm.
and flow. Intentions and flow.
So I'll share a little anecdote to get us started about one of the first times Prasad and I went to, maybe I don't know if it was plant medicine or some kind of ceremony. No, it was probably maybe Singapore actually. So regardless of what it was, Prasad had skillfully laid out an entire list of intentions, the biggest, mightiest, most powerful intentions he could come up with. And I've always loved and enjoyed hearing his way of covering all of the bases in these pretty neat intentions. But the funny thing was that I was quite the opposite. I would show up at a ceremony or a retreat or whatever it was, and I had some sense maybe, but I was really just there to be present. And a lot of times, the only intention I could get myself to commit to was to be open to whatever God or source wanted for me, or to allow the healing. Maybe surrender might have been one of my intentions. So we've always laughed about the different ways we've done that.
So, between, or should I say, with yes and the intentions and flow, the word that's coming up is dancing, the dance. So, like Karunadara said, it's been a fun dance for us um, in this lifetime since we met in 2015. Generally, I'm we do a lot of ceremonies together and a lot of work together and a lot of different experiences and experiments together. And by and large, I'm very intention oriented. It is my belief and understanding that we are in a very responsive universe. Yes, there are universes that aren't so responsive. This one, at least appears to me, and a bunch of my teachers have talked about how responsive this is. You ask for something, you put it out there. This is the true law of attraction. You get responses. So I've always been pretty passionate about crafting these big, beautiful intentions. So I'm very grateful for how much since 2015 Karunadara has been teaching me about flow, because one of the pitfalls of intentions is it can get in the controlling realm, or it can close us down a little bit, or it can keep me. So even if I have these perfect intentions and they're happening, it could close me off from something even greater. In Karunadara, are there any pitfalls to flow?
Of course. Well, sometimes it could be a lack of focus or a lack of clarity. And so for me, for a couple of years, that was definitely something that I was working through, was this kind of confusion, right? That I often felt internally confused. So that could be the pitfall, that it could be almost like an excuse instead of getting clear on what I really want. Oh, I'll just, and we see that actually quite a bit in these, I hate to say it, but kind of hippy dippy communities where, God will provide, or these kinds of things. It's like, yes, and you still take action, even with the law of attraction, right? Yes, you ask for it, and you prepare yourself to take action when needed. I mean, there's various components. So those are some of the pitfalls I think of.
Yeah. And on the beautiful side, or one beautiful side, I see it as very masculine, feminine. Masculine is very much into structure and goal oriented, and the feminine into the looseness and the swaying. So I really view this intentions and flow as a yes and, both you know, and that dance. So it's
Mhm.
not I'm full of intentions or I'm full of flow, one or the
Right.
other. It's dancing between the two, embracing both.
Exactly. Yeah. Like everything else, or like most things in life, it's the balance of the two. Because I think what we've learned from each other is how to lean into. So if my tendency is flow and your tendency is intention, now that we've been around each other for a long time and we've witnessed that both work just as magically, then we're now better able to lean into what isn't our tendency. And then that makes for more powerful experiences, because once, for me anyway, when I start to kind of navigate and explore the possibility of that dance and allowing myself to see, oh, okay, maybe now is a really good time for intention. And sometimes I will say, to those of you for whom flow comes easier or more naturally, that what I've allowed myself to do, one quick tip, and I do this all the time in Amos and in group transcentation, I will start with clarity. I'll get there and I'll say, I don't know what my intention is. So my intention will be clarity. And then with the power of the tribe, of course, and as I'm expressing what I'm trying to get through or to, then the intention of clarity gives way to the next intention. So it's okay to be naturally in flow, and it's very beautiful, but there's also a lot of gives to be able to lean in and out of each one of these states.
And for those who feel naturally inclined towards intention and the direction and goals, I've found it very helpful to be checking in with others and seeing how they're resonating and consciously thinking about flow and relaxation and surrender, whatever word of those choices work for you. You know, we're saying flow today, so we'll go with the flow on that. But yeah, it's really nice to check in with others and make sure we're not getting too single pointed or, you know, want to remain open.
All right, that's what we have for today. Hope you enjoyed your time with us, and join us back tomorrow and also Saturday for Soul's Breathwork.
Much love, everyone.
Hasta luego.